Hi, I'm Matt Baker. One of the social skills components that we've been working on this year in our clinical lab of TDS Social is that of perspective taking and empathy. One of the projects that I've been working on with some of my high school students over the last few weeks is to pick out a children's book and give a presentation on it and help to teach younger children about perspective taking and empathy. The book that they chose was A Tale of Two Beasts by Fiona Robertson. What they had to do was create a presentation using iMovie and read it as if they were teaching it to children. And this book really does a nice job of explaining how one situation can have two totally different perspectives and the importance of being empathetic of somebody else's perspective and not only thinking your way is the only way to get something done. So this is a project that was done by some of my high school students at TDS Social in Amherst, Massachusetts. I hope you enjoy. A Tale of Two Beasts, written by Fiona Robertson. Read by Natalia and Ian from TDS Social. Part 1. The Strange Beast.
I was walking home from Grandma's house through the deep, dark woods when I spied a strange little beast. He was stuck up in a tree and whining sadly. So I decided to rescue him. "I will call you Fang," I told him, and I wrapped him warmly in my scarf and carried him safely home. I gave him a lovely bath and a gorgeous new hat and sweater and a delicious bowl of fresh nuts. I made him a beautiful house and gave him Lord Rex to play with. I took him out for lots of long walkies to keep him fit and healthy. And I showed him off to all my new friends who loved him as nearly as much as I did. But for some strange reason, the little beast did not look very happy. In fact, he was looking rather hot. I hope he's not sick, I thought, and opened the window to cool him down. But then something terrible happened. He threw off his clothes, leapt out the window, and ran away as fast as he could back to the deep, dark woods. I wanted to go and look for him, but Mama had other plans. Dinner time, bath time, bedtime. I couldn't sleep. I missed the little beast and wondered if I would ever see him again. But then a small little furry shadow appeared at the foot of my bed. The strange little beast had returned. He seemed quite pleased to see me, and I began to think that maybe, just maybe, he wasn't that strange after all.
Part 2. The Terrible Beast.
I was hanging from my favorite tree, singing happily to the birds when I was ambushed by a terrible beast. She growled at me and tied me up and carried me off to her secret lair. She made me disgustingly clean and dressed me up in a ridiculous hat and sweater and tried to make me eat squirrel food. She kept me in a tiny box with nothing for me to do and nowhere for me to hang from. She made me walk backwards and forwards and backwards again for no reason whatsoever. She showed me off to a herd of even wilder beasts who were just as terrible as she was. I had had enough. I made a cunning plan and put it straight into action. Free once more, I raced back to the deep dark woods before the terrible beast could catch me. It was peaceful in the deep dark woods, a bit too peaceful perhaps, and also a bit wet. In weather like this, one could do with a nice warm hat. I snuck back to retrieve it under cover of darkness. The terrible beast was waiting for me. She seemed quite pleased to see me, and I began to think that maybe, just maybe, she wasn't that terrible after all.
Thanks for watching our video. Please like and follow us so you don't miss future videos, and please share our material so you can help us see the great in every kid.